Here's what's coming today on the Woodworking Network podcast.
I'll stop by somebody else's shop and I'll see one or two little things that are so simple, but I never thought of it because I was just in my own world.
Welcome to the fourth season of the Woodworking Network podcast and a new episode. Join us as we explore the business of woodworking, big and small, and what it takes to succeed. I'm Will Sampson. Today's episode is sponsored by Hexagon. Today our guest is Jeff Bellows, owner of a cabinet shop in Iowa and founder of the Facebook Cabinetry Millwork Shop and Install group. But first, I want to talk about teaching, sharing, and learning. Teaching people new skills has always been exciting to me. I've taught woodworking classes for adults and children. I'm a certified 4-H archery instructor, and I've shared primitive skills like blacksmithing and timber framing in informal workshops. Of course, every day through the Woodworking Network, I try to promulgate good business practices to an audience running small businesses, largely without the benefit of formal business training. At its essence, teaching is fundamentally sharing of knowledge, but teaching is also an accelerant. No one learns anything as quickly or as well as they learn it working with a teacher. You can spend an awful lot of time doing something the wrong way while hoping to get better at it. When I was in college, an Olympic archery coach told me, "Practice makes perfect only if practice is perfect." She was right. Learning is something that is best done not alone, but so many woodworkers starting out in business struggle alone trying to learn the business. Are they embarrassed to ask for help? Do they fear competitors will take advantage of them or think they will be ridiculed in an internet forum? Ironically, a lot of them tell me they are just too busy to stop and learn, too busy to attend a workshop or travel to a trade show, too busy to take the time to get better, too busy to learn how to be more efficient, too busy to learn how to stop losing money, too busy to learn better ways of doing things, too busy to succeed. See how silly that sounds? But some of it comes from the other direction, too. Too many of the people with skills to share are not willing to do so. Perhaps they fear competition, like the shop that doesn't want to invest in training people for fear that they'll leave and join the competition. The Woodworking Career Alliance has a spin on that. It goes something like, what if you don't train them and they stay? After more than 25 years of trying to help industry associations like the Cabinet Makers Association grow, I'm pleased to see that more newly minted shop owners are taking the time to learn. It's still not as accepted as in some other industries, but the willingness to ask questions and share answers is on the upswing. Some informal groups sprouting up on Facebook and regionally have grown faster than more formal organizations. In some respects, it's a mirror of how Wikipedia supplanted encyclopedias. The collective wisdom is coming to the forefront. Of course, that doesn't mean we will all agree to do the same things the same way. Independence is a natural trait of most entrepreneurs. But sharing, the collaboration, and the cooperation all combine to raise the industry to a higher level. What do you have to learn? What can you share? I want to get to our interview with Jeff Bellows, but first let's pause for a word from our sponsor. Software has become crucial to successful woodworking businesses, but some shops might not recognize the name of Hexagon, the software leader in the woodworking industry. More familiar are the company's two woodworking CAD/CAM brands, Cabinet Vision and AlphaCam. Cabinet Vision simplifies the process for all furniture and woodworking or case good manufacturers by using a single fully modular software package to go from design to manufacture. AlphaCam is intelligent and intuitive CAD/CAM software for woodworking, metal and stone cutting, Learn more at cabinetvision.com or alphacam.com. Okay, hello, I'm Will Sampson from the Woodworking Network, and I am here with Jeff Bellows in our booth at AWFS Fair in Las Vegas. And one of the things that's going on right now, which is I think really great, is that we've invited the members of a very active Facebook group called the Cabinet/Millwork Shop and Install group. Do I have that right, Jeff?
That is correct.
All right. And they're a lot of these folks have not met each other in person before and are coming to the show and seeing each other face to face. And I want to talk a little bit about that. I think when I was invited to join that group on Facebook, you were only about 2,000 members, but now you're like 33,000 members. Is that right?
Yep, right at 33, almost 34,000 now.
Wow, that's just incredible. Now, how did the group get started?
The group got started by a guy named Rich Susi and myself. We started the group. We had left a couple other groups and didn't agree what was going on. And this group was founded on the fact of helping people and just spreading the woodworking knowledge that we have.
Well, one of the things I like about it is I think it's one of the most civilized groups, and maybe I'm not seeing the great work that the moderators do. But, I've seen a lot of times where some newbie comes into a group and posts something that's pretty off the wall and stupid and he gets slammed, and the poor guy doesn't know that he did anything wrong. And in this group, people will tell him that it's stupid, but they'll tell him that way in a polite way, and they'll tell him the way that he could do it better. Is that pretty correct?
Yeah, we have a lot of other admins and mods that help us keep the group nice and clean, and we try to prevent people from getting negative comments and to foster a learning environment.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, because it's always been my feeling that the whole cabinet industry is full of lots of people that don't get out of their shops, that are kind of insular, and they're afraid to get out of their shops and talk to shops in their area or whatever. Now, the internet's broken into that a little bit, but I think anything we can do to foster communication between these shops has got to help the industry.
Yeah, like in 2008 when I really first started getting into cabinetry, the only way I'd ever get into another shop is if I was there buying another piece of equipment from them, and then I would look around at everything and I would go back and implement what I saw in my shop. And I think that's kind of old school. Nowadays with internet, Facebook, everything's open. My shop's open, and oftentimes people stop by and anybody can stop by. And I think it's the same with most of the other people in the group. We don't really have any secrets, and I think a group of people pushing each other along and helping each other, we've all really progressed faster, I think, in the last 3 or 4 years than I ever had before.
Well, I know that, I've visited hundreds of shops across the country, and it's always funny when I visit a shop, a guy wants to show me some really cool thing that he does. And I've probably seen that 3 or 4 times in other shops. And he did legitimately invent it, on his own, but he's reinventing the same wheel that all these other shops have invented. And it's tough. And wouldn't it be better if we could all learn this stuff together?
Yeah, and lots of times you'll see a post, and even me being at it quite a long time, or I'll stop by somebody else's shop and I'll see 1 or 2 little things that are so simple, but I never thought of it because I was just in my own world. And the ability for us to, share that with everybody is, I guess, if your post helps one other person, then it's worth it.
Absolutely. Now, can I get a little bit of your background, Jeff? Hey, you said you started in 2008?
I've been a carpenter since 1992. I built houses from the ground up, and then I went out on my own in 2004. And then in 2008, I finally got my first shop, and that's when I really decided to be a cabinet maker.
What kinds of stuff do you make?
Mostly nowadays frameless cabinets.
Frameless cabinets, all right. Okay, but I also know that you have, I guess it's a hobby now, but you have a certain love for some antique machinery, the Weaver equipment.
I do. I own one piece of everything Weaver equipment has ever made.
I can remember when that equipment was very important in a lot of shops.
It is, and the funny thing is that now that you see as people are getting older and retiring, more and more is coming up on the market, and before you could never find them used. Now,
so that helps you for your collection.
Facebook tracks me and they tell me wherever they are.
So you're gonna have a Weaver museum?
I do actually have a Weaver museum, and I'm gonna have Weaver Museum Day one of these days there.
That's great. I'll have to get out to Iowa and try it and check it out. But, well, I just wanted to have a brief little session with you to talk about this group and the value of networking and all that. And I appreciate what you've done to help build this group. And I appreciate all the group members that are willing to share their knowledge. And I hope that we can broaden that throughout. So thanks a lot, and hope you all stick around and get to know each other and network.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. Thank you, everybody.
That's it for today. If you're looking for more of our podcasts, you can find all of them at woodworkingnetwork.com/podcasts and in popular podcast channels. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Thanks again to today's sponsor, Hexagon. If you have a comment or topic you'd like us to explore, contact me at will.sampson@woodworkingnetwork.com. Thanks for listening.